So this is an overview of making a budget and using LivePlan. So I'm going to first say that if you don't have a LivePlan account, I just Googled LivePlan, liveplan.com, and you can do pricing. I would say you want to do $10 a month to build once a month, $20 after the first month. So I can actually send a code on the internet so that the students can get an even cheaper price, but it's $10 per month. So once you have a LivePlan account, I'm going to log into my LivePlan account. You can also do this in Excel, and you'll share yours with me. So I'm going to go to my account, and what I'm going to do is do create new company. So I'm going to call this clinic, new clinic. I'm going to start the new clinic project, 2020. SU for summer. All right. And we want a new business. And when are we going to start this business? So we'll say we'll start in June 2020. Or we can go, to make it easier, we'll just say we'll start January 2021. So we're going to make the plan for now with a launch date of January. So the years. We're going to be in currency, and we want how many full years of forecast? We want a minimum of 3 years. All right, so we're going to create this company. We can start working anywhere. So I'll talk about the pitch and the plan later. I'm first going to talk about starting a forecast. So there's plenty of videos besides this video that I'm making for you that you can watch about how to use LivePlan. What I'm going to talk about is how to estimate and figure out what should be included in your budget. So now I'm going to hit get started. You could hit watch here, but I'm going to hit get started. So we're going to talk about revenue streams. So this is a new clinic where patients are going to come in. Now, of course, we all know that patients can be charged multiple different prices. And the goal of this is for you to understand how the budget would work, what important things would happen in decision making, make recommendations. So I'm not going to go crazy. We're going to use one revenue price, right? And the other thing I want you to understand is that when you open something new, it won't immediately potentially be full, right? So I'm going to hit add a revenue stream. I'm going to call it patient revenue. I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to say it's unit sales. So we're going to say how many unit sales, and I'm going to say they get charged $150 per visit, and the unit is visits. So I'm going to vary it over months. All right, so I'm going to start, because at a new clinic, right, we're not going to immediately have revenue, right? So let's just say, all right, so how many patients can they see a day? So I went and Googled how many patients can a nurse practitioner see per day at a clinic. This is from 2010. They're saying 20 a day, 24 a day, 15 a day. So let's just use the average number of 20 per day. But you're not going to start off, let's just say you're going to start off in January seeing 10 patients per day. And you're open, let's just say 6 days a week. Calculator. 6 times 10 times 4. So that means you're going to see 240 patients. Because it'll take time to ramp up, to get referrals, to make sure people know that your clinic is there. So we're seeing half, so 240 is half, times, let's say, a 10% increase in so 240 is half, right, of what you'd really see per day. So if you saw 20 a day times 6 days times 4 weeks, that'd be 480. So let's just say in February we see 60% of this, 288. And then we see 60% of that in March. And then we take the 480, yeah, clear. We take 480, which is 20 a day, and we do 75% by April. So 360, 360, and then we're at 100% capacity. Let's just say 90 here. So 480 times 90, 90% capacity, 432, and then we're seeing 480 a day from here. And the other thing we might want to account for is their seasonal. Okay, now let's just say we have a lot in flu season. And then there's always inefficiencies, so you're not going to see the same number. We get a little 475. Okay. And we could just straight across the board apply a 2% change. Apply. Or we fill this out. So 480. Let's say you get even more efficient, or you're just seeing lots of patients. All right. And so we're going to have a constant price. We're going to have a constant price of $150 per unit, which is per appointment. We're just going to pretend that everything costs the same. We understand that everything doesn't cost the same, but for budgeting purposes at this point, unless we had contractual rates, we're just going to make a guess. Okay. So that is my revenue stream, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to direct cost. So a direct labor, we talked about this in class, direct labor is someone who directly works with the patients. So I looked up salaries. I'm going to hit add a direct cost. We're going to call this nurse practitioner. And I'm going to put in her yearly salary, her or his. So 84,480, and that's going to start January 2021. So I'm going to hit save and close on that. Actually, so I should have actually delete this one. Confirm. So I deleted it, right? I want to add direct labor. It's an individual and it's nurse practitioner. Okay. Direct labor, and we'll pay them a constant amount, 84,480 for the year. And we want an annual salary increase of 3%. So we can just put this in, right? And they are staff. There we go. So then we're going to have an RN. Cancel. Discard. Add direct labor. We're going to have an RN. Next. I want them to be direct labor. The RN makes $49,152, and that's per year, and they get a 3% raise every year. And they are on staff. Save and close. A burden rate means we're going to apply the cost of payroll taxes and benefits like retirement and health insurance. All right. So now let's talk about, we have to have a physician on staff. And they might work someplace else and come in specific days. So we're going to add this direct labor cost, physician, labor, and they're going to make 120 per year, and they'll get a 3% raise as well. So let's see what else we can do. Let's add some other personnel that aren't direct. So add personnel, and we're going to add a medical assistant. And the medical assistant is regular labor. They're not direct because they assist everyone and we can't assign it directly to the patient, and they'll assist the front desk. So the medical assistant makes $24,576. I looked up how much they make per hour and I multiply that by 2080 for the whole year. And let's just say they get a 2% raise every year. Save and close. And we'll add a little bit more. We'll add front desk. Next, 24,576 per year. 2% raise at the front desk. Save and close. All right. Now let's talk about, I haven't finished this. I'll come back to it, but this is just a general introduction on how you would enter stuff in here. Let's talk about other expenses. So what other expenses might you have? Well, one of the expenses we would have is rent. We're going to rent this place. And so let's see. We'll say rent is a constant amount, and it will be, I looked it up for this area for medical building. Let's just say it's you got to find out how much square footage you want, but 6,125 per month. So now we have rent expense. Let's say utilities. I'm going to add expense. I'm going to add utilities. Other expense, constant. It might change a little bit, but we're just going to say $1,500 a month. So we have done the initial outlay of things. So the other thing that you'll need to think about is what assets will I need? So I haven't entered any assets yet, right? But let's talk about what assets I may want to purchase, right? To start up. I probably need equipment, right? So we got to look up how much some of this equipment costs, right? So let's say one of the assets, these are items like equipment or something like that. So let's just say we want a portable x-ray machine. Portable x-ray, cancel, machine. Well, how am I going to figure this out? Cost of portable x-ray machine. It's between 62 and 140. So and I believe that these last 10 years. We're not going to resell it at the end and get money. And it's a long-term asset. So I'm going to hit save and close. Now you can see I purchased a portable x-ray machine. And what it says is what the value is over the lifetime, because it's going to depreciate. So we're going to buy the machine and then it depreciates over time. We'll talk about depreciation in the next class, but this gives you a general idea. What your goal is to come up with what are expenses, so expenses here beside rent and utilities that you think you need. What are the personnel that you need to run this? I would probably have more people here. Maybe my revenue is off once I decide how many people I'm going to have in personnel. Maybe I need to adjust that. What are the assets that I need to buy? So what are my startup costs and how much will that cost me? So this is a general overview of how you would start thinking about that for the class. All right, thanks.